Hey guys, we'll do the EU breakdown. Well, not breakdown, it's the top-down analysis. So at the minute, let's start with the weekly. We'll get straight into it. Let's just see. Obviously, we are in a downtrend on the weekly. I am seeing a reversal very soon from EU, basically because you can see basically this one big trend line. Yes, it's been wicked out, but I can see us kind of starting to make higher highs and higher lows. So we'll remove that for now. So yeah, on the weekly, if we zoom out, obviously you've got this whole area, got this whole demand area. Yes, it's been mitigated, but when you actually look closely, obviously the weekly body candle has not actually penetrated, so it's only a wick, which tells me that could be a sweep. So we then remove this, and we then, personally, I think this might happen. Obviously, you know yourself, the market can do anything it wants. Excuse me. So I'm classing that as a sweep on the weekly for now. Obviously, lower time frame will tell us kind of what else is happening. So we've dropped down to the daily now. Let's just bring this over a bit. So we zoom in on the daily, and obviously we've got a lower high, then we've got the lower lows to go with them. I broke that, and this was the break, this impact down here. So from this area we actually shot down below and took the sweep. Yes, it's a daily close, but I'm thinking with the weekly candle not closing below that it's a sweep from the weeklies, which makes me kind of look for buys, and I am currently in a buy on EU. I've had a couple take me out this morning, which I think I was a bit premature with my entries, but I've got one on now with a smaller risk, so we'll see what happens with that. But so obviously this, a lot of people obviously class this as the supply area, and it is, but the actual supply that broke the bottom was this little supply area, or this supply candle, sorry. And yes, it's been tacked into, so it's been respected here. Let me make that a bit smaller, you can see it a bit clearer. Oh bloody hell, not that small, but hey ho. So yeah, as you can see, supply has been respected there, but we've actually broke through the supply with body as well, which tells me that we're kind of going for a reversal. So we'll remove that now. That's been explained. So we've got that bit's broke. Keep that there. And that is your chalk. That is the change of character. Yeah, change of character. So let's drop down to a lower time frame. So obviously now I'd be looking for buys. So before that, so you've got this candle here is the main candle before, so that's the demand candle. This is what I'd call the flip, kind of the flip demand area, because that was the candle that pushed the big impulse that actually broke the main push down. And we have actually got, when you see from here, we have actually got imbalance there. So let's jot that in. Let's just get that in there. So that's imbalance. So this could be used as liquidity. So we want to get kind of above that anyway before if we do make lower lows, we want to be touching into this liquidity. So, but either way, so this is the 4 hour, and that is the last candle that pushed, that really gave the impulse. And we've tapped into it. We tapped in there, and then we've swept that. So we tapped in there. We went early SMC traders. They got took out there, so we swept them. So let's jump down to the let's have a look at the 15-minute. So the last impulse, really, I mean, I wouldn't class this because that is a wick literally just for liquidity. So this was the last impulse that pushed down, that created this sweep. And you know it's a sweep because the body of the candle hasn't closed there. So that swept the liquidity and then shot back up. So then, as you can see, oh, excuse me, something keeps getting stuck in my throat. But what created the break? Obviously, we've got full candle closures here. What created the break was this demand candle there, which was respected. So you could have got a buy on there if you wanted, but we're then using that to that line there. We are having that as liquidity as well. So, and I am actually I'm in a buy over here somewhere, just covering the low. So we'll see. It might take me out. It is what it is. And then I'm also looking to take out some of the daily highs, and the daily highs are, I think, up to about here. So ideally it'd be nice to kind of get that going up there, but I'll remove it for now because that's not needed. So as you can see, we've got our big impulse up, and then we've got our correction. We've got lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then we've broke this lower high. As you can see, that wick, that was probably just news just to get some more liquidity. So we broke the lower high there, and we've made a higher high and a higher low and a higher high, and now we've took the sweep of the two lows, so we've swept that. So personally, I'm having that as a sweep, and you want this, obviously you want this really now before you kind of look at a re-entry. You want it to break this supply area. So obviously I'm hoping, and it might, I mean, there's news coming very soon as well, so it might shoot down, but I'm hoping this will break through this. It might shoot up a bit. It might tap some imbalance, and then it will come back to an order block, and then we'll start making higher highs and higher lows. And then let's have a look to see. So we have got, if you watched my video the other day as well, we had a sell. We had the perfect sell, which was from this area, and I believe it would be on about I think it would be about 1 to 30 now. If you had it on, you'd have got 1 to 30 with the stop loss that I explained about, but that actually left an unmitigated order block, supply block here. So I would be looking mainly at this area for a target. But when you zoom out, obviously I'm hoping we're tapping into this fair value gap, maybe a bit of retracement, and then flying through it and starting to make higher highs and higher lows. So this is what I'm hoping. It might totally be wrong. I've been wrong before. Everyone's been wrong before. I've been right before. You just got to kind of have your analysis done and obviously hope it goes the way you want. But we jump out on the 4 hour, it might be a bit clearer. So you've got this impulse also broke this downforce there. So you could class this as the choke, because it changed the character there, and then it responded. If you look, where is it? It responded to this demand area, and then this respected this demand area. I know they should be red. We'll make it, and that one as well. So we are technically respecting our areas. So this is the flip, wherever it is. For some reason I can't find it. Well, we'll class it as a break constructor, but it's actually the flip area. And this is the flip, this is the main flip. You've got the extreme down here, which could be respected, and the news might trigger to that. But what I've seen is a lot of the time the area before the impulse gets the kind of response. Hence why I'm taking the trade. I'm taking a buy from here. So we've swept the lows, and we've gone on a smaller time frame, and I'm hoping to kind of take out this. I'm hoping to take out this trend line here, liquidity trend line there. So yeah, so we're looking at going up here. We might tap into this, which obviously has got an order block just above, and then we might drop down to this demand area. We would have then had these lows took out. So hopefully shoot up to here, or even into this area or that order block, and then back down to this demand area. You could even go to the extreme, because the extreme hasn't been tapped. So there is a fair value gap there. But it all determines, it's all based on lower time confirmation. So I'm hoping we're going to shoot. That would be probably a take profit 2, and then I'd let the rest run. But I reckon into that, and then we'll possibly see it drop down into demand, maybe into the extreme, and then I think we'll probably start making higher highs. So yeah, that's my kind of view on EU at the minute. It might look a little bit messy, but don't forget we've got little bits of imbalance up here. We've got order blocks that have not been tapped. So, and the main thing what I am seeing, and hopefully a lot of you are seeing it as well, we've got this massive trend line. I know we've took the trend line liquidity out, so then we're making people think buys here, but then we'll buy a little bit, and then I think we'll take their stop losses out, and then we'll buy even further down here. Hence why I'm only going for a smaller TP instead of a swing TP. So yeah, hopefully enjoy it.